let's turn to more NBA talk, right? And Rob G, you got the numbers that came in. It was a straw poll of NBA execs, right? Anonymous.
No, so ESPN does a MVP straw poll, and it's done by Tim Bontemps, longtime NBA insider over there.
Yep.
And what he does is he actually surveys basically all the actual NBA MVP voters, every city, international. So in his study, this is like 99% accurate of what the final votes are.
Yeah, but you know what? Didn't that happen though before with the Embiid? Remember the Joker won that one. And you remember that? And it flipped?
So he does three different ones. He does the early, middle, and then the end.
Okay.
So this is the middle one. Based on his current polling, SGA is going to run away with this one. He got 70 of the 100 first place votes. The only other player to receive any first place votes was Jokic. He got 30. But based on the way things are tracking, it would be an upset of epic proportions if anybody other than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander ends up running away with this MVP.
Well, I mean, there's a couple ways of looking at this, Rob, and I think you'll appreciate the way I kind of view this. We just had this conversation for an entire football season, more importantly, the last month or so. And I look at SGA and Jokic as a combination of Lamar and Josh Allen. And in this case, Jokic is Lamar. He is Lamar where you've already won multiple. You've already been in the mix for even the ones you didn't win. You were in the mix, a candidate to win MVP. You even have the better stats. And in fact, you have historic stats. Stats are just statting. However, I lean on the narrative that, you've already won. We've already given it to you. And your team has the record is worse on your end versus your counterpart. SGA and Josh Allen are the same. They've been in the mix, but they haven't won. They've been close, but they haven't won. They're likable. It's a new story. It's fresh. SGA is so likable with his teammates. They don't even do singular interviews. Whoever wins the post-game interview, they all come up. They all bark. They're all dogs. It's cute. Better team success. They have the better record, one of the best records in the NBA. Josh Allen had a better record than Lamar Jackson. And I think there's something similar to that where it's just your time. And lastly, when you go back to Jokic, that would be 4 and I believe 5 years for him if he were to win. That is crazy. And I think voters go, there's no way, as great as he's been, we can do that when we didn't do that for LeBron, Kobe, Jordan, so on and so forth.
That's ridiculous. That's totally ridiculous.
If you think that's ridiculous, why is he not even close right now in the voting? When he's having
SGA's having
stats.
a great year, and I think that the voters, unfortunately, are fickle because they did that with Embiid, and I think if they could redo that vote, and disagree with me, if they could redo that vote, and you saw what the Joker did, he put up an historic postseason run and winning a championship. That
Rob, it's not the postseason.
That's not what I'm saying. Is they didn't give it to him, right? For that reason, because he hadn't won anything yet, and then he went on to win, and that was a year that they played that game. And I'm telling you, if you were to redo the vote just after seeing what that guy did and his regular season, they wouldn't have voted for Embiid. And that's why that's the danger in it, is trying to spread it around. No, stop. Give it to the best player.
You know that's what they do, though.
No, I don't know that.
I don't disagree.
I don't.
Okay, so wait.
Because I saw Barry Bonds win 7 MVPs. I saw Roger Clemens win 7 Cy Youngs. No, I don't see it.
So Michael Jordan only was the best player 5 times?
No, I think they make a mistake in the NBA. And it's a dumb thing to go on narrative.
I agree. Maybe NBA specific. I agree that it may be NBA specific. Maybe baseball doesn't mind.
I just don't remember people going, well, Barry Bonds won it last year. Okay, he had 50 home runs. No, don't give it to him this year.
I do wonder if baseball had one league. I do wonder how that would change things.
They have 2 MVPs.
But no, that's my point. So it's not a singular person winning over and over. It's Barry Bonds winning one league, but somebody else winning in another. If there were just one, I do wonder if Barry would have gotten so many, because they may have said, let's spread that out. I'm tired of him. It's multiple, so you can get 2 different guys in different times. NBA, it would just be one. NFL would just be one. And I'm just wondering if that's why, again, we see Michael Jordan, He'll get another one at some point. Let me give it to Karl Malone. Let me give it to David Robinson.
I think when you say that, I think you're disrespectful. It's not that Michael Jordan wasn't the best player. That doesn't mean he was the MVP. And I think there's a difference between the two.
So if I'm disrespectful, then Josh Allen was. Then look, they were disrespectful in the NFL this year, right?
What are you talking about?
Meaning Josh Allen wanted like Lamar Jackson.
Oh, I think it was a terrible. People who changed their votes, it should have been whoever. If you wanted to vote for Josh, you should have voted for Josh for first team All Pro. That's all I'm saying.
I get that.
Both should be the same.
Do that.
It doesn't matter if Josh was your guy. Like they did it out of guilt because they knew they couldn't shut out Lamar totally. Because then if they're like they'd have to answer to that. Would you disagree? If Lamar got nothing, then people would be like, this is a sham. And I think that's why people still went out and gave Lamar like a parting gift. You know what I mean? Because they knew they couldn't do it.
Like there's no way Lamar could have a historic season and then walk away with nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. But what I'm saying is that's my point is that people have these ways of going into where they're like, well, this person this, or I like Lamar, he actually had a story, but Josh Allen, or Jokic, but man, that would be 4 out of 5, and Jordan and Kareem, like nobody was getting these 4 out of 5.
But the Joker's going to play for a long time. I mean, so he's got 3. They're going to deny him the rest of his career.
No, but he won't have 4 and 5.
But what's the difference if he finishes
historic.
with 7? He might have 7 when it's all over.
But that's spread out. It's a 4 out of 5 is a historic thing. If we give you 4 or 7 out of an 18-year year.
You shouldn't even care what he did last year. That shouldn't factor in.
You're being rational. For one of the few times you're being rational.
I'm always rational.
You're being rational right now.
I just don't understand.
You're making sense, but you get what I'm saying, that this happens. I'm not saying it should. It does. Not that it should.
These are bad voters. I'm telling you. People have a right to vote whatever they want, but this is bad if you're really looking at stuff and basing it off of what somebody did last year. I tell people all the time, it ain't about last year. It ain't about the playoffs. You got to get off of that. It's a regular season award. That's it.
Yep, and I totally think multiple things come into factor. Like I said, I think the previous season, even the next season, who they project, well, he'll win another one, so I'm going to give it to the other guy now because he'll probably be in the mix next year. And I think all that goes into play. But to me, that's why SGA – but his team so he's very much deserving. His team is having an incredible year. He could have won it last year. He's right there in the mix too. But I think that's why Jokic is so far behind.
Well, Dub, to your point, I listened to the podcast that they did after this poll came out. All 3 of the guys on that show are voters. One of them said, I came into this saying, Jokic is going to have to do something unbelievable for me to even consider him to win MVP because 4 out of 5 and the historical context behind that would be too much to overcome.
Yep. And that's what I mean, Rob. People come into it like that.
What's funny is that Jokic right now is on pace to have the highest PER
by 2
in
points.
NBA history.
Just like Lamar was one of, remember, Rob? The number 3 best was a QBR rating of all time.
Number 4 quarterback rating of all for a single season.
And the other 3 had won the MVP.
No, the last 11 have won the MVP, but in that case, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. The last 3, and he didn't. So it happens where people do that. And I think Jokic's greatness is working against him. They're going, oh, well, we've seen this. I've seen this before. And that's the problem. I've seen him average 26, 12, and 9. I've seen him do that every year. And I think it works against him.
That's ridiculous. You shouldn't penalize somebody for being great.